Emily thought someone had broken into her house because the closet door in her bedroom was locked from the inside. But when the police forced it open, they discovered something far more disturbing. The room had been empty the entire time, and yet the lock had just turned. The first time Emily noticed the closet, it was because of the sound. A small metallic click, soft but clear enough to wake her up. It was 2:13 in the morning. Emily sat up in bed, listening. The house was silent. No footsteps, no voices, just the quiet hum of the refrigerator downstairs. Then it happened again. Click. This time she knew exactly where it came from. Her closet. The closet door stood across the room, barely visible in the dark. At first she thought it was nothing. Old houses made noises. Wood shifted, pipes rattled. But then she noticed something strange. The door handle had moved just slightly, like someone had touched it. Emily slowly got out of bed. Every step across the wooden floor felt louder than it should. The room felt colder than usual. As she got closer to the closet, she noticed the lock was turned. That closet had never been locked before. In fact, she didn't even remember the door having a lock, but there it was, a small brass latch twisted tightly from the inside. Emily stood there staring at it, trying to convince herself she was imagining things. Then she reached for the handle. It didn't move. The door was completely sealed. She knocked on the door once, then twice. Silence. But just as she turned away, something inside the closet shifted. A slow scraping sound, like something dragging across wood. Emily froze. Her heart started racing.
Hello?
The sound stopped instantly, like whatever had been moving inside the closet suddenly realized she was listening. That was when Emily called the police. She didn't know what else to do. Maybe someone had broken into the house. Maybe someone was hiding inside. 2 officers arrived 20 minutes later. They checked every door and window in the house. Nothing was forced open, nothing was missing. The house looked completely normal until they reached the bedroom.
It's in there.
The officers exchanged a quick look. One of them stepped forward and tried the handle. It didn't move. Locked. Emily shook her head. Do you have the key?
I didn't even know it had a lock.
Sir, you might want to see this. The first officer leaned closer. The lock wasn't just engaged. It had been turned from the inside.
That's not possible.
Because there was no other way out of the closet. No window, no second door, just solid walls. The officers decided to force it open. One of them stepped back and slammed his shoulder against the door. The wood cracked. Another hit. The door burst open. The closet was empty. No boxes, no clothes, just bare wooden walls and a dusty floor. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Emily pointed at the lock. It was still turned from the inside. One of the officers stepped into the closet and scanned the walls carefully, then the floor, then the ceiling. Everything looked normal until he noticed the scratches. Thin lines carved into the wood, dozens of them running vertically along the wall, like something had clawed at it over and over again. Animals? But the marks were too even, too deliberate. They looked almost like tally marks. Emily felt a sudden chill run down her spine because there were hundreds of them. That night she didn't sleep. Even after the officers left, something about the house felt different, like opening the closet door had changed something, like something had been waiting for it. At 3:02 a.m., Emily heard the sound again. Click. She sat up in bed, slowly turning her head toward the closet. The door was closed again, but this time the lock latch twisted slowly from the inside. And then someone knocked. 3 slow taps from inside the closet. Emily ran out of the room. She didn't stop until she reached the street outside, barefoot and shaking. When the police came back the next morning, the closet door was open and the room looked completely normal again, except for one thing. The scratch marks on the wall were gone, every single one of them, as if they had never existed. But when the officer checked the floor, he found something else. A thin line of fresh dust running out of the closet, across the bedroom floor, and stopping right next to Emily's bed. Because whatever had been inside the closet hadn't stayed there. And the worst part, Emily never lived in that house again. But the next family who moved in reported the same thing. Every night at exactly 3:02 a.m., the closet door locked itself from the inside. And if you ever find yourself in that house, don't try to open the closet, because the last person who did heard something whisper from the other side. Thank you for letting me out. If this story gave you chills, make sure you subscribe to Hidden Chapters for more dark psychological mysteries and stories that keep you thinking long after the video ends. And tell me in the comments, what would you do if you heard someone knocking from inside a closet that was supposed to be empty?